to start off by thanking everyone here for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about a commonly ridiculous problem for students throughout the world, procrastination, and how to overcome it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. What is procrastination? Procrastination is when a person unnecessarily postpones any kind of work due to a multitude of reasons. This could be like online distractions, playing games, lack of motivation, or social media. But not all forms of procrastination are the same. There exists a ton of types of procrastination, like perfectionism, a person who puts off tasks because they fear they can't perfectly commit to it. Or a dreamer, a person who puts off assignments because they can't properly pay attention to the details. But I would be here all day if I tried to explain all the types of procrastination. Today we'll be mainly focusing on two forms of procrastination, passive and active. Passive procrastination is when a person delays a task because they have trouble making decisions and acting on them. An example of this could be when a student postpones or puts off homework because they don't feel motivated enough to do them, or they can't convince themselves to do it until the due date. Active procrastination, however, is when a person actively or purposely delays a task because they believe that they work better under pressure. And I'm very much guilty of this. Sometimes I convince myself that I can complete a task ranging from a couple homework assignments to a whole final exam at the last moment, but oftentimes these assignments are my worst written and composed assignments. Along with resulting in poor and reduced quality work, procrastination can cause a multitude of psychological problems. Some psychological problems that procrastination can cause is anxiety, lack of self-control, and lack of motivation, depression, and low self-esteem. I'm primarily focusing on students, but procrastination can negatively impact one's academic performance and mental and physical well-being, causing increased stress, lack of self-control, and yet again, lack of motivation. Procrastination could also lead to resenting family, friends, coworkers, and fellow students. Okay. But I want to emphasize that if you're struggling with procrastination, you're not alone. Did you know that over 50% of college students say that they consistently procrastinate? And about 80 to 90% of total students consider themselves procrastinators to some degree. You might be asking, why does procrastination exist? And according to Kendra Cherry, an author and psychologist who received her master's at Boise, Idaho State University, a couple of reasons why people procrastinate might be not understanding what they need to do, not knowing how to finish or start a task, not feeling like they really want to do it, not caring enough to get something actually done, or just not having it, waiting to the last minute, or lacking initiative, and lastly, forgetfulness. But I believe that there's a solution to every problem. And there exists a number of management techniques that you can implement in your day-to-day life to reduce procrastination. SMART goals is my first technique. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals is an idea that helps people complete their goals in a certain amount of time. So let's break it down by each section. Specific. This is where you define your goals, what you need to accomplish, and who's responsible for it, and what steps you need to take to achieve it. Measurable. Make sure you're able to track your progress, which can motivate you to complete your work and prevent you from slipping into negative mindsets. Achievable. Is making sure your goals are realistic, so you don't disappoint yourself and become unmotivated by this. Relevant. Ask yourself, why are you setting these goals that you're setting? And lastly, time bound. Set a start and end time. Understanding that you have a time frame can not only help you beat procrastination, but can reveal oneself from anxiety from approaching due dates. My next recommended technique is Pomodoro. And this technique only consists of 3 steps. First one, identifying your task. Second step, work for about 20 to 30 minutes with no distractions. Make sure you put away your phone. And step 3, after these, make sure you take 5-minute breaks in between each 20 to 30-minute increment, so you feel more motivated and your work ethic will dramatically improve if you do implement this. A last technique that is surprisingly simple for me is planning ahead. Make sure you have a realistic schedule for yourself for the next day or week. And keep in mind not to overcomplicate your schedule. Note down only a couple of key assignments you need to complete, and make sure you have a journal so you can keep track of all these important dates and assignments. With this, I would also like to give you some tips and tricks. Firstly, I like taking small breaks to help prevent overexhaustion and boredom. You could also try changing your environment. Don't study in your room, that's a bad idea. Pick something that's more quiet, something where there's no distractions. Lastly, reward yourself because you deserve a treat. By acknowledging and addressing fears through these techniques, you can set realistic goals for yourself and embrace a growth mindset, paving the way for a more positive approach to assignments. So thank you for listening to me today. Woo!